Welcome to your third and final fan-requested Friday matchup of the week. Heavy Metal Fitness. Eugen Sandow versus Big Ramy. Come on, Marx. The beginning to the end. Well, this guy's been commenting and viewing my channel for quite some time, so I am more than happy to pull this one off. And this is actually quite a very interesting comparison. I mean, Eugen Sandow. Some of these pictures are from probably the 1800s, and you often hear me say when I do an 80s versus today guy, you have to use all discretion, and it's not a serious comparison. And this, I mean, come on. This is, what do you think? These guys were taking the same supplements? They were going to the same gym? For goodness sakes, even if Eugen Sandow looks more than decent in any shot, you got to give him credit. And this, of course, is we'll go to the front relaxed position for a lack of a better term, I guess. And can you honestly look at the lag difference? That's the first thing I notice. The waistlines are virtually identical. I mean, that's the only things, that and the heads of these two, that the only thing that look similar species. Look at the amount of thickness and just muscle that Ramy put on. But Eugen Sandow, I often put videos out on guys like Mike Ashley and even Ronnie Coleman earlier on in his career, claiming to be natural, and none of us will really ever know for sure. And I always put that in an epithet, and when I say that, I don't know, I can put a theory into it. Some guys might be natural, of course. I mean, think about the premium genetics out there. But there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Here in the front double bicep pose, and I'm not judging this one, guys. Come on. Who do you think's winning? Big Ramy. But anyway, look at this. This is an actual front double bicep pose hit in probably the late night or the early 19 or the late 18. So this was a shot. This was an actual pose. I mean, this is history, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like I was saying, hate to jump off my track. I get sidetracked sometimes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Eugen Sandow is 100% natural. There's no doubt. Come on. And I'm sure there might be one little straggler out there that claims that he was maybe a time traveler. It was on HGH, something like that. But when you think about it, old farmers and stuff like that, they would look at him lifting weights and eating more than he should. And to them guys, that was unnatural. So he was enhanced, if you think about it. You just take a guy off the field and see who had the best physiques. That would be, I guess, what they would consider natural. But anyway, one heck of a friggin' front double bicep pose. I like Eugene's better than Ramy's, actually. Back developments, and I had to cover up Eugene's bare bum. We don't show bare bums here on Marx Max Muscles channel. Some of you might like to see them, but you can go Google it personally and we'll look at it yourself. But I like to put the little bell pepper over that. I used that bell pepper once before. Back developments, just fantastic on both gentlemen. Honestly, Eugen Sandow, big set of legs. Maybe a little bottom heavy, to tell you the truth. But the conditioning was definitely there for him. Big Ramy, I decided to go with some miscellaneous versions of him just to keep things fresh. I don't like to keep showing the same versions over and over and over again. Side tricep pose, and I am quite astonished on how many mandatory shots were available back then. This was bodybuilding in its infancy. I mean, Eugen Sandow, he has a couple of popsicle stick legs, I'm sure. No smaller than mine, maybe probably bigger than mine. But the display they just didn't display them back in the turn of the century. Anyway, the arm, the tricep itself, Eugen, he's almost boxing with Big Ramy. Almost. I mean, he has a little bit of maybe Palumboism. No disrespect to Dave Palumbo. I love that man. But he is he's sticking his belly out, you know what I mean? Eugen, he's just showing his abs, I think. But Big Ramy, actually a thinner waistline. This is a fun comparison. This is a side one single arm bicep, I guess, for the lack of a better term. I should really take this more seriously. No lats for Sandow. You see that? And speaking of Sandow, and speaking of being serious, this is a very interesting situation where I got a fan request to do a comparison between Eugen Sandow and Big Ramy. And just yesterday, the bodybuilding world was shocked at the loss of another Sandow, Luke Sandow, or Sandow. But I mean, come on. A guy with the name Sandow that was actually in the ranks. He could have won this Sandow trophy. But anyway, a little side note there as we look at these two physiques. This is bodybuilding, how it started, and this is bodybuilding today. All that mass. It's a shame. Luke Sandow. May he rest in peace. But we rest for no one. We trudge on, we carry on, as would Luke Sandow. Look at the arm difference. I mean, this is probably the most telling tale of all the comparison shots. It just looks like boy versus man. Like I said, no disrespect meant to Sandow. His bicep, for the time, people would have looked at that and they would have been more astonished than that of people today looking at Big Ramy. We're so desensitized by pictures and videos. I'm sure the biggest arm that most of the people seen before Sandow's were their uncles or their paws with their big old arm on their paw, a couple of veins. But nothing like Sandow. Just incredible. This is a side, most muscular, I guess. Sandow actually looks fantastic here, conditioning. And look at the tricep. He's showing Big Ramy. What for? Not really, though. Big Ramy. No disrespect meant to him. All right, guys. Like I said, I am not judging this one on purpose. And that is to not disrespect Eugen Sandow. I mean, this is the trophy that these guys want to obtain. If Big Ramy improves enough, he can win a trophy of Eugen Sandow. I like this one here, this ab and thigh shot of Eugen Sandow. Look how cut he is in the abs. And if you zoom in on his face there, look at his face. Isn't that kind of ghostly? Creepy? Gives me the chills. Look at his face. Do you guys believe in ghosts? I do. Anyway, I don't mean to get you guys confused on my objectives in life and creating this channel in the first place. Ab and thigh goes to Big Ramy, but those calves are awfully small. That's another aspect of a guy like Eugen Sandow. His calves probably were bigger in proportion with the rest of his body. And we draw to a close in this comparison. This is a back shot, and I couldn't help myself but show this one. Because if you look at Eugen's bicep, like I said before, he is boxing with Big Ramy. So the guy could do some major curls. And if you think about it, he was a strong man, and he did do feats of strength. So I'm sure there was maybe a barbell curl or some sort of maneuver. I think he could do a backflip holding a dumbbell. I'm sure there was certain workouts that he could defeat Big Ramy in. And that doesn't, I'm not trying to disrespect Big Ramy. I mean, he is what he is. He's an athlete. I'm sure if Eugen Sandow was around now, he would look closer to what Big Ramy has here in the most muscular shot. Of course, when you do compare it, Eugen Sandow's arms do look stringy and long, but don't misconstrue the situation. Like I said before, there was old school marms, things of that nature that would They'd get in their carriage and they'd go to the circus or whatever it was, wherever Sandow was. And could you imagine these old ladies? I'm sure they seen a barrel of pickles in their day, but nothing like this one. And they would see Eugen Sandow and, oh, my soul, look at him. Oh, those washboard abs, oh, my. And they would want to wash their clothes. This one here, we'll close with this one because Eugen Sandow means business. He's looking over at Big Ramy saying, don't you mess with me, young man. you have a chance to win a trophy of me, so respect. And I'm sure Big Ramy has a full knowledge of the history of bodybuilding. And even if he doesn't, he knows who Eugen Sandow is. I mean, that's the trophy that he tries to kill himself over. I mean, he's doing things in those gyms that would kill a normal man. It would kill me anyway. Well, guys, I hate to do this whole comparison and not judge it. I already knew who won before. I knew who won after. It doesn't really need to be said. Eugen Sandow is one of the most incredible names in bodybuilding history. And as time goes by, his fame will not fade. It will only grow and grow. As should Big Ramy's. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this comparison. Hit thumbs up if you did. And don't forget, get your fan request out. I honor the very first one, of course. And it'll be played next week for Fan Requested Friday. Hit thumbs up, subscribe. Have a great day.